Our guest today is the legendary actor, producer, and entrepreneur James Ikechukwu Esomuha, popularly known as Jim Iyke. Jim Iyke began his career in Nollywood in 2001. The movie $1 brought him to the limelight, and for 2 decades, he has excelled and stands out in Nollywood. He has starred in over 150 Nollywood and Hollywood movies. The film Bad Comments is Jim Iyke's debut as an executive producer. Ladies and gentlemen, meet our guest, the legendary Jim Iyke.
Hello guys, welcome to the guest. I am very excited today because I have Jim Iyke. Drum roll. How you doing?
Can't complain. The universe has been far too kind.
Obviously. So you have a new movie, Bad Comments, that tackles online bullying and cyberbullying. While researching for this film, I want to know, why do you think people troll?
Well, low self-esteem, I think, is one of the chief reasons why people troll. Because how else can you? The demands of living your everyday life is so high, it's so intense, and it needs so much commitment that for you to leave your lane, which is your life, and go to find out what another person is doing, and intend to, without every intention of projecting hate and cruelty, it means you're far, far, far from your goals in life. It's true. You're extremely far, because the pursuit of your everyday well-being, of your vision, of the well-being of people that are around you should encompass the entirety of your time. So if you can leave that lane and go to, quote and unquote, troll another person, it just shows a vast exhibition of wanton dissatisfaction with your own life.
Have you been at the receiving end of this?
Back Comment. It's a movie that was created to resonate with everybody. I didn't want to create a Nollywood or Hollywood or Bollywood film. The idea was a universally viable film. We had to find a common denominator. Of course, I've been trolled. I've played the two devices. I've trolled and I've been trolled.
Oh.
You know, many times they come trolling me, and then they find out that this is what I do for sport. So I end up trolling till somebody obviously, withers away. So yes, I have been trolled. I returned back the medicine in full measure. But what it is what it is. It's sport for me.
Can you tell
For
us
them,
about
it's
the
life.
worst experience ever?
I lost my mom about 5-6 years ago, so this one kind of still evoked very strong emotions in me. Camaro convertible just came out that time. It just came out then, an acquired one. We were shooting. We had a slight issue with Virgin Atlantic. I was ambassador of Virgin Atlantic then. So they shut down operation in Nigeria and insisted that for us to travel for Jim Iyke Unscripted, which was my reality show, we had to go through Ghana to any part of the world we wanted to go. So I literally moved to Ghana then, and then we had a press conference to bring people, media, up to speed. That day I came with a Camaro. Some dude showed up, young guy, pleasant guy, said he wanted to take a picture. I said I obliged him. He said he wanted to stand next to the car and take a picture. I obliged him. He said he wanted me to stand next to the car so he would take a picture. I obliged him. He said he wanted to get into the car to take a picture. And I told him at this point to F off. Seriously, he was overdoing it. You understand?
Yes.
I didn't know he took offense. That night, this gentleman in question, mine is a black one. He sought, he found one, a dark blue one, an accidental dark blue Camaro online. Posted it and said I just had an accident and I was lying down in hospital on life support and I'm likely to go any moment.
Whoa.
Now, and that next day was the day I was to do 4 countries in a row for Unscripted.
Unscripted.
Yeah, I was doing Frankfurt, Zurich, Milan, and Amsterdam. So you can imagine those 4 or 5 days, and we're doing 2 days per city. So you can imagine the next 1 week I was unreachable, and my family were completely distraught. My mom fainted. Now she had high blood pressure. They reached me the 6th day. By the 6th day, then the news had gotten to us and everything. By the 6th day, everything was messed up. My mom made me take a picture, made me do a backflip, made me strip naked like to my birthday suit. Did a video, because sadly, what she said was that I've done this before. Apparently, I had a bike accident my last year in school, and my leg was hanging somewhere for 3 months, and nobody in my family knew about it. I swore the nurses, my girlfriend, everybody to secrecy. They found me the 3rd month when their leg was rotting away, and yeah, they couldn't, because I didn't have money to keep up with the hospital bill now, so I had to so I had to ask for help, and they found me like that. And so she's like, I know you're repeating this thing. You're probably.
I understand.
I know
She's coming
you understand.
from right now.
So when I was done with the video, we had to cut short that trip, and I came back, and I was depressed at that point.
Just
like,
because of one
silly
silly person.
They don't understand the extent of what how far this thing can go.
Yes.
So I made a vow. When I saw my mom at the hospital the day she was getting discharged, I made a vow that I was going to feel the same pain that I felt. So I put all my resources and time to find him.
Did you get him?
Yes, we found him.
What did you do to him?
That's this public TV.
I'd like to know.
Let's just say that he's not going to troll anybody for the rest of his life. Let's just say, I'm not saying I took life, but
No,
I deny anyway. He's very much healthy and alive and going about his business.
But he learned a very good lesson.
No, he didn't learn. I put him out of business. I made sure that he's not going to troll or get on that space as long as he lives. Okay, so I wasn't the only one he messed with. He messed with the head of police of Accra at that time. So there was a collaboration. We caught him. The whole idea wasn't that. The whole idea was to humiliate him and take him to that level of distress that he puts people. Sometimes you have to put them in that space. So they understand it's not about words.
Yes.
Okay? Misplaced and disseminated to the wrong people. I could have lost that woman then because of somebody's stupidity. Yes. So his mom had to cry for where we kept him. So he understand the pain behind it. And then obviously, and I'll tell you another thing, he was quite repentant. Because we had a conversation man to man after he stayed where we kept him for 2 weeks. And I went to see him personally. And I told him, listen, I'm not doing this because I enjoy it. I'm just trying to tell you it's got effect. It's got cost and effect. There's a ripple effect for everything you do. Every action necessitates an opposing and equal reaction. This is the result of your action. And I want you to own it and just understand that you can't do this kind of thing. Your personal vendetta to me was nothing. I obliged you that day. Yeah. But you can say, but I'm somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's uncle, somebody's dad. You can't do that. That's cruelty on a whole different level. And I think he understood that. The pledge he made wasn't because we punished him. It was out of the personal conviction that he did something extremely wrong. So that's one of the things that inspired this movie.
Social media can be a very toxic place.
Yes,
but at the same time, we need to be there for business, brand, influence, and
that's
more.
what it was created for.
How do you now handle all of these bad comments?
The whole idea of it is to force a conversation. It's a satire of sorts, a tongue-in-cheek, come-of-age movie where we had to tell the story through the prism of a celebrity, the anti-hero. A lot of people blame for this. So I like perspective. In every argument, good or bad, I like to offer people perspective. And my perspective is simple if you think it through. We, the celebrities, in the forefront of this hate and adoration and love, and surreal and environment, are we doing too much?
Okay.
Are there no simpler ways of projecting your success? No elegant way of telling somebody you are successful without being ostentatious with it. While we're posting pictures of our crazy lifestyle, our ostentatious lifestyle.
Some people would say they're selling their brand. Maybe they want a luxurious brand.
Is the truth to inform and motivate or to offend? Because there's another person on the other side of the divide that works just as hard as you do, that every day you're trying to tell him that his hustle is nothing, and you're making him more desperate by the day. And then he begins to think of something untoward or something illegal to match up to what you're throwing towards, you're disseminating to him, the kind of ideology you're sending to him. And then the people on the other side of the divide as well, does it really concern you to go and emulate another person's business? Why don't you stay on your lane? That's it. That's a traffic-free lane, a lane that you can achieve anything you want if you if you put your mind to it, instead of going to another person's lane that's clogged with traffic and wannabes. So there's so many angles, the wide spectrum to this conversation, that I think a movie like Bad Comment will force us to either conduct ourselves with a decorum this phenomenon, commands, or we can go around with our cowboy mentality and hurt each other.
So why did you choose Moses Iwang to be the director of this film? And I can see the way you chose the cast of this film, the veterans in Nollywood and of course the new stars. Why the choice of casting, and why Moses Iwang?
I think for everything in life, there's always a strike. There has to be a balance in life. The science of the mind is such that what you feed it is what it begins to believe, what it begins to encompass as a reality. Moses is a reality that, as a collaborator, that comes home to me every time I go out to do something. Also, my long-standing collaborator is here. His name is Michael Udo. He's been with me for about 15 years. He said something on our press release. He said every time Moses and I come together, it's fire. You need to understand who you create. It's not just about the financial resources behind you. It's not about your will. You also have to collaborate with the right people. And I think God designed it in a way that there are people you really bring a spark with. We fight every 5 minutes. As a matter of fact, we just had our latest fight 10 minutes before I came in. Yes, because he was supposed to be sitting next to me in this interview. He missed his morning flight. Now he's coming with the 1 p.m. So I just cussed him out before I came in. But before we come here, we're going to hug like brothers and go get about it. So he is. I've known Moses. We started this when we were barely 2021. Okay? Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, he's my brother. Wow. You understand? Yeah. Sometimes I don't talk to him we had our sons 4 months apart in the same city.
Wow.
So I'll call him and say, guy, how far now? These women want to clean us up. They see the bill. Tell me, just stay strong, brother. And then, I'll call him up. One night his son was crying. He couldn't sleep. He was depressed. I told him, dude, I'm seeing the same thing. Just keep going.
Man.
So, yeah, we've done all that. So when we collaborate, before we started this project, he said something to me I don't think a normal director would have had guts to tell me.
Okay,
he sat me down and said, this is one of the most complex work we're going to do, story we're going to recreate. I'm not going to do it. I know you have the resources. What I'm saying is that there's so many things money can buy here. As an executive producer, as a producer, as a lead actor, that's too much on you already. I want you to delegate. We got 3 producers for this film. I want you to delegate, but I know you will keep micromanaging, checking on everybody until you wear yourself out. You have to promise me everything in this script. We're not compromising. You must give it to me, from guests to fire service to everything. There were a lot of things that were really hard to get. And I gave him that pledge and said, we will not finish this film until it's done. That's why it took 2.5 months. Sometimes to organize one particular prop or something, it would take us a week or 2 weeks, but we did it.
A few years ago, you dropped an album, Who Am I?
Wow.
Where you featured Two-Face and May He So Rest in Peace, Sound Sultan. Even in the video, Michael Blackson was there. I'm sure then a lot of people didn't know him.
He was famous though.
He was famous back then.
I think Michael's been famous all his life, except he wasn't making money yet.
Okay.
He wasn't making It's now instead of making bad money. But yeah, then he was famous. Because when he came to Harlem, a lot of dudes came out to sign autographs and pictures with him. They didn't know Two-Face and I that well, but they knew Blackson.
But he was in your video.
That's
but
what
what's
I'm saying.
happening with the musical part of you?
Yeah, because I'm a terrible musician.
Really?
No. Let's call it what it is. My reality is me. What happened was simple. At some point, I just believed I could do anything in this life. I started a couple of businesses, then they were doing well. I had my acting thing, shooting through the
music.
I said, what's music? I went with. Then I used to hang out with Tu Baba and Sultan a lot. We used to hang out a lot,
Right,
so I followed them to the studio one day. It was a dare.
Oh.
Oh yes. somebody dared me like, Jim, come on, man, you already talk like a rapper. Like,
I
man,
know.
so rap. I might bring this thing. How can it be that difficult? I went behind the scene, froze for 5 minutes, and realized quickly I was out of my depth. But she wouldn't allow me to leave the booth. So I said, speaking nonsense. And we sat down, we started writing. And I found out I was really good at writing
Yes.
it. But now to translate it from the paper to the booth, it's a whole different thing. So I kept going. I was having too much fun to stop. So we did it. I got a fat check out of it from some marketers. I thought, oh man, this has to
You
be the
actually
new
made
ish.
money out of it, so
Yeah,
me,
serious money.
I-
When those dudes, okay, when Two-Face, I told Two-Face how much I made from him. He was so mad, like, well,
I
they're not paying me
understand.
this company. They're paying.
You that just came
They
from
just-
Nollywood, you're paying
but
this.
here's the point. Let me make you laugh. The dude, I knew this wasn't going anywhere, so I quickly collected my money fast. That dude, when you know that it was CDs,
Yeah.
that dude produced over 1 million CDs. I think some of them are still in the warehouse behind his house. Because nobody bought that ish. You know?
Already
When
made
people listen to it, oh man, Jim's a whack. You know? At the end of the day, the thing they sell, he was mad at me asking for a refund. I said, dude, see you in court, bro.
I'm paid
Money
for
why I don't spend already. I buy Bentley that time. Man. Come here to tell me.
Wait,
Hell
you're
yeah.
kidding me.
I carried his money, went into a lot, bought it. 2 months later, his lawyers were calling me, oh man. I said, did I put gun on your head when you give me money? Some more you still owe me some back ends, which he refused to pay me. I said, yeah, take him, I dash you. I know it's a messed up project. I don't want any part of it. So when the pressure became too much, like, dude, you shouldn't have bought this Bentley. I found a car dealer friend of mine told me, keep this Bentley, give me Range Rover, I gotta drive first. Let the heat come down, so I'll come back. So we have fun.
What has fatherhood taught you?
Patience, emotional intelligence, humor. He's a funny guy, you know. He's and they keep me laughing, and then they make me far more creative than I've been all my life.
Wow.
People used to think I was some sort of mad scientist, but I don't want to say genius, because I have done things that. But I think my creative juice totally took a whole different turn or realm after I met my sons.
Wow.
You know, you have to meet them
Wow.
that first day. The birth was unparalleled. It was like nothing else. They didn't let me into the labor room, because a day before then, some 6'5" American basketballer guy got in there. The first, as his son's head popped out of where you know where, my guy passed out. So they had to offload my guy into a bathroom, and there were 2 emergencies that day. So when I came, they're like, nah, man, you should see the dude that came yesterday. You just passed out. We can't have you over here. But I'm like, no, I'm staying here. So when they saw they couldn't push me out, they dressed me up. My lady couldn't push after a while, and I had to go under and threaten her, and like, yeah, yo, they're about to
You're
cut you
kidding
off.
me.
They're about to cut you off. There's a Ugandan nurse there that pulled me and said, Papa, you the father? I said, yeah. He said, listen, you see these white boys? They're 2 young white boys. They're about to do a cesarean, so better tell her to push that baby out. And she hates marks on her body. So they positioned me under and put on top of me. And I told her, yeah, they're about to cut you open. You better push this baby out. You know, no, after I threatened her and all that. No, humorously, I kept telling her they were. So she pushed out. I caught the umbilical cord. I was crying like a baby that day. You know, they pass me a tissue and pass a tissue. So it's a very emotional thing. You can't wake up the same after that. And every day I see him, his ability to. I take him to the playground. He doesn't want to play with other kids. He wants to play. That's me right there. He's so comfortable being by himself, you know. He goes to play by himself, but while he's playing on his own, there's a little white girl that's his friend. No touch that baby. So once they touch, he brings war. So that's
my child. That's my boy.
That's my dude. Whenever I ask like that, I wait for the parent to come, because I'm ready to, you know. But it's fun. It's a whole different part. And you know, during the pandemic for 6 months, we're in Paris together, and the whole airport's closed around us, so we're forced to be in Paris for 6 months together. Oh yeah, we moved to the suburbs. We went from panic to reality, and I told them, guys, this is our home for 6 months. Let's move. And the funny thing is that they turned out to be the parent and me, the son. I mean, the child, because I couldn't adjust to waking up doing nothing in the morning. These dudes were already making friends around in the neighborhood, organizing football tournaments in the field and all that, introducing me. My son was actually introducing me to neighbors, like, come on, man, let me help you. I'm like,
Really?
this is sad. I can't cope socially. And these little guys already, the day he brought me croissants, like, he went and bought croissants and brought me. I'm like, man, Jim, get it together. Your kids are not bringing you snacks to me to liven you up. You know, they were not bribing me like, oh man, this guy's going to depression. Let's help him, because I won't pay for 2 days straight. I always in the living room. So after that Saturday, they brought me a small basket of croissant and cookies and all that. They know I love all this. I kept it down. I just went to the mirror and said, okay, my friend, wake up. Let the Lagos in you come up right now, because this is not funny. These kids are not bribing me instead of the other way around. Yeah, so being a father, I think till date is the best responsibility ever. It's there's nothing like it, nothing.
So Jim, finally, what do you want to be remembered for?
I've always thought about this. It's such an important question, because I woke up one day and I told myself, that how do I want to be remembered? Do I want to be that actor? Do I want to be that producer, that thespian, the person that will leave this mark on the sands of time? What kind of impact would I have made? It's not about money. It's a very important part of it. You need to give yourself a certain lifestyle. People around you need to be comfortable. But what quality of impact have you had in the world? You know, did you put yourself in a box all through in your life and look at yourself like one that transcended to times? I wanted more. So I set about to be a really good businessman, a successful businessman in all I do. And as we created more platform, the more I came to understand that this is a gift. You know, this is really what it is, a gift. And there's a higher, you know, purpose for it. There's God that's involved in it. You were chosen amongst many to bear this. So you must understand that it comes with a certain responsibility as well. Responsibility to impact on the younger ones, responsibility to your parents, to make friends with the right people, to mentor yourself, to carry yourself in a certain way. And so I just want to be remembered as really, really somebody that came and his voice was strong while he lived. And he left no impression as to nobody else. I want to come in as Jim and leave as Jim, and I don't want any other person to see me as anything different. No?
I know you have starred in over 100 movies.
Wow.
And you probably might not even remember some of the films that you starred in, but let's see if you can. So we're going to flash some movies that you have starred in, and you just tell us the name.
I'll fail off, I promise you.
Really? Let's see. Just try. Just try. Let's see. Let's see how good you are with this.
I know $1 is going to be there somewhere.
Ah, really? Yeah. Well, you might be wrong.
You might be wrong.
Okay.
Here's the movie.
Okay, so this is the first movie.
Rihanna and Beyonce.
Correct. Okay, let's do the next film.
Your dumb brother to stay off this race. I'm going to cause your family a lot of pain.
Any idea?
I remember what happened on that set, but not the movie.
You can remember.
I ate Ramsey's food around here, was mad, and then he ended up stealing my food for the next 2-3 days after that.
Okay, the title of the movie is Last Faculty.
Okay. Last Faculty. Okay, I just remember what happened on it. Oh, American Driver.
Oh, this one is good. Recent film, definitely. Let's go to the next film.
You can never tell if your actors are being serious or not. I mean, yeah, you're serious.
It was $1.
$1 is here. It's here, guys. $1, of
Yeah,
course.
I knew you
Your
guys were
first
gonna-
film.
Yeah, I know you guys
See
are
how
gonna
you're
watch it.
looking, though?
Yeah,
And you see how you're looking, so the difference. God is good. 20 years later. All right, guys, it was fun doing that, and it
yeah.
was fun having the legendary Jim Iyke in our studio.
Go see Bad Comments on August 27th. That's when it hits the cinema near you. And I promise you can beat your chest and end the argument about Nollywood not being universally viable.
Okay.
It's the best thing ever. Trust me. That's it. It's your bragging right, guys. Go see it.